not really built for this format.
Yeah, I don't think they are one of the teams that have improved. Given the fact that it's crew battles, I think just straight up 3v3 would favor them, as it does for many of the other teams here. Like HEET, I think, are one of the teams that do benefit from the crew battle format. I think they're going to be the favorites here. 3v3 is a must win for Team Secret.
Yeah, 3v3, vital for the teams that don't have those 2s or 1s specialists. As we are in crew battles, game number 1 is going to be a 3v3, as is games 3 and 5. If we get there, Drafinho, the man new to this roster, on Team Secret, opening it up with just 13 seconds gone, and in very good spirits by the looks of things too.
Yeah, good beat, but Razier's bumped out the way by Sad. Key play there, that's Raziers, who's going to be the 1s player for HEET. That's the real problem that Secret have got today. I don't think they've got anyone at that caliber. Oh, they just narrowly miss out on conceding. Risky kickoff went against them, but the post had their back.
Going back to the format talk, games 1, 3, and 5 are all going to be 3v3, and then the losing team from game number 1 is going to be picking the game mode for the game number 2, either 2s or 1s, and then the mode that was not picked there will be then our game in 4, if that is where we end up. And a shot from Faris, HEET level it up.
Another great assist. We had the off-the-ball assist for the first goal of the game. Now it's a very active assist from Raziers, just drilling the ball downwards towards Faris, who bangs it into the bottom left corner. Raziers, you know, we talked a lot about him as a 1s guy coming into this event, but yesterday he really showed up in every single game mode for this team, and I think he was a large part of why they were able to take down Anka, a tough Middle Eastern team, with a ridiculous comeback. Oh, hold on a second here. Well, Raziers is on the score sheet, but defensively, that has to be a massive blunder from Team Secret.
I don't think he expected to be as it bounces. Oh, he thought Drafinho was going to get the touch, and instead he was then caught completely off guard. Couldn't get the touch himself, jumps thinking the ball is suddenly near me, and it just goes over him. Raziers, I don't think he expected to score there, but he'll happily take it. And what a vital bump off the kickoff.
Yeah, key play there is a chance to come back towards Secret. Nice little cut of rotation there from Raziers. Narrow miss on the follow-up, but that actually just gave Raziers another shot on net. Brief 3-on-1. Faris manages to stop all of the attack that was coming towards him there, staying safe in the process. Is Raziers going to be able to block this one? He does. His defense looking pretty good for HEET at the moment. Like we said earlier, if Team Secret don't win this first 3v3, they're in a lot of trouble in this matchup. 1v1 is going to be heavily HEET favored, 2v2 as well. HEET came back from a massive deficit yesterday against Anka to win. Every 3v3 is key for the Brazilian team.
Bit of keyboard and mouse action as well.
I love that.
In the bottom right corner, just seeing different play styles here. It's not just control a game.
That's sad. And I mean, that's actually the player sad, not sad to see.
I mean, as a KBM player yourself, that would have been brutally harsh.
Yeah.
To be putting down your own. HEET with 2 minutes gone, currently leading versus Secret. The number 2 SAM team having, as we said, a great appearance over at the Spring Major, wanting to continue that through before they make their appearance at Worlds. Lots of red controllers we're seeing too. Certainly some style choices, but from the backboard, Team Secret trying to get another clear away to force a counter-attack. But HEET, that pressure really starting to build.
Yeah, HEET are quite calm here. I mean, in the qualification for this event, they really did impress in 3v3, and even without their star 3v3 player Juicy, who could not make the event, they're still looking so solid. The rotation's been impressive. The vibes seem to be good. They did lose to Space Station yesterday, but that's appearing to be one of the tournament favorites after a very strong showing on day 1. So really nothing to be too sad about there. Some people would call HEET the favorites to make it out of this group, depending on how well Endpoint are playing today.
Yeah, interesting place to be as well, because they're not exactly, you know, your top teams that are making it through to big events particularly often. They might have a good run every now and then, but you know, the fact they're here, the fact that they've gone through already, they're in the lowers, but having a good chance to fight it out against one of the top teams in SAM is fantastic for them. HEET continuing that push, but Secret have had a few looks in themselves. Raziers attempted to go for a double touch. In the midfield, it can be caught with a shot, giving away a little bit of possession, but Drafinho can't get the clear, so Faris moving in, pinched wide. Parker to shoot, but saved away by Knight. Down into that back corner, but you see the conveyor belt of teeth from HEET.
Yes, a lot of space in the midfield for Secret, but they've yet to really connect the dots together and find those passing plays. again, just sitting very deep with their third man, so hard clears are not going to be a problem for them. That's a little bit more creative from Secret, looking for the lob pass into the middle. Once again, though, HEET are just getting behind the ball. They're 50ing effectively. They're staying in control of this game. So it gets a bit desperate for Secret. With only a minute left now, it is time to really start throwing the mechanical plays forward. Backboard again, defended well by HEET.
Secret continuing that push though. See Sad just missing out on a little bit of boost. Can't quite clear it away. Faris and Raziz both committing on that ball, but Drafinho, no time, and Knight had an open net to shoot on, but again the ball flying towards him unexpectedly. Could not get a good one out of it. Drafinho goes high towards Sad, and Knight with a backflip. That was a chance.
Yeah, they really piled on the pressure well. Their boost for a moment, I think, ran down to just 3 boosts for Raziers, none for Faris and Parker. They're right now on 0 boost as well. Boost's really been a problem late in the game for HEET. A Secret up the pace. It's the passing plays, failing to connect in the key moments.
I mean, if you've got all the boost in the world, doesn't matter if you can't score. I'd rather have more points, to be honest. Parker can't quite get that ball flying down past Sad, and so the right wall is where this final attack will fall from. Still has his flip, can just not quite squeeze it underneath Razier's. Final 5 seconds. Knight into the corner. Oh! Chance to shoot. Drafinho, though, could not take the opportunity. Great defense, keeps HEET in that winning position, and game number 1 falls their way. So Secret have the choice of either 2s or 1s for game number 2.
Yeah, it's got to be 2s, surely, with Razier's a 1s specialist. One of the, I wouldn't call him absolute top tier, but on his day, he is top tier. So less of a consistent top tier player. You know, if we're talking who's the best 1v1 players in this tournament, you've got to say Abjack, you've got to say Jarius, TRK, Khaled, First Killer, AJ, Rawas yesterday we saw putting on a great showing. Daniel, these are players who have shown over long periods of time that they can really show up when it matters most. And, you know, shout out to players like Jan and Fahad as well, putting on, I think, game of the day yesterday on day 1 with a stunning 1v1 matchup. Raziers is almost there. He's good enough to beat anyone in this tournament, but he is a little bit susceptible to upsets. If he's not feeling confident, then he might, you know, lose the mechanical ability and start to play with a bit more nerves. But yeah, I don't think they're going to pick to 1v1 into Raziers. He's just too good.
I love seeing the music choices from the players as well. Just listening to something in the background, keeping them going. Whenever I play Rocket League, I'm quite weird. I don't listen to music. I have a stream on or like a video, but I think I just get bored with music. It's not for me.
Maybe you need to find some new music, new playlists.
Yeah,
so send Stumpy your playlist suggestions so you can.
Please do.
Oh, look at this. You're joking. They've picked
You're kidding me.
Hold on a second here. This is crazy.
Your entire talk, Johnny, nonsense. They don't care. Knight, he fancies a scrim with Raziers. Well, good on him.
Yesterday, Secret were sent into the lower bracket round 1 by Rogue as Knight fell 10-4 to Taroko. And hey, it's not looking too good at the start here. I want him to, you know, show us that this was a great decision, but honestly speaking, I think this is a big mistake. I think 2v2 is the way to go. Raziers is just on some different level right now. Knight struggled against Taroko yesterday, who I'd put to Raziers a whole tier above Taroko in this tournament. At least, you know, minimum 1 tier. This is questionable. I'm so surprised to see 1v1 get picked, and I'd be amazed and impressed beyond belief if Knight can win this. He's tied the game though. Fair play to him. Saw the early challenge coming and popped it over the top.
I mean, yesterday, mate, we spoke when it was Snowy and Fahad. They picked it. They went for it. Orlando Pirates fancied it. It's a 6-4, still lost out, but maybe Secret are thinking that they can change people's minds and perceptions about this tournament.
Well, there's no doubt that Knight is ridiculous mechanically. If he can just pop off and start banging in aerial after aerial, it's going to be tough to defend against. There's no doubt about that. But whether he can get into that zone where he's just, if he can get into free play essentially and start scoring at will, that remains to be seen. Raziers, he's the one in free play right now as he Calypso Knight once again.
Unbelievable, manages to take it off that right wall, or that left wall rather. And then we see the ball just go onto the stomach of his car, getting that flip reset. The block nearly coming out from Knight. Just not quite, and Raziers managing to take that lead. Maybe they'll just trade goals this entire series, but kickoffs, Johnny, are one of the biggest things in 1v1 that people certainly overlook.
Yeah, I think right there, after the goal, we had one of the cameramen on stage was actually looking for the reason why Team Secret picked this matchup. He couldn't find it, so we're back in the game now. HEET are going to be delighted with this. They brought Raziers in for this reason, and he is starting to dominate not just with the aerial plays, but the challenge game as well. He just says, Knight, I don't think you've got control of that ball, and I don't think you're going to get this across the box either. It's the little things like that that are really going to be Razier's favourite. Those little awkward moments, the parts where the game slows down, grinds to a halt. If he can just keep the pressure up, Knight is in a world of trouble.
It's an unbelievable shift going from a 3v3 into a 1v1 versus an incredible 1v1 player. It's a different game. We're going for an air dribble. Oh, I get him. I thought he had the contact, but no.
What a save by Raziers. Well done tonight, not to overextend, but Raziers already stolen the boost away. This is the continued problem with going completely all in almost for an air dribble bump, but Raziers misreads that bounce off the crossbar. He's got the backup plan though. Boost stolen again, Knight's down to 7. Raziers actually taking away the mid as well. He's just controlling every play right now. This all stems from that air dribble bump save. He's had full control since then and breaks down the defense. Knight was able to delay the inevitable, but not for too long.
That entire play culminating from that boost steal in the corner about 20 seconds ago, where he was able to steal it away. Then you see Knight having to just hold back a little bit, can clear it into a corner. Then the boost is already gone from there. Ball finds itself midfield, boost stolen again, and then it's just a case of speed. Raziers has to keep that ball fast. Raziers Knight cannot get back in time.
Poor guy, Knight, just when he thinks he's going to get the mid boost and possession, Raziers just darts in front of him with a speed flip and takes that one away as well. Saw the position awkwardly from Knight and just flicks it over him. Oh, poor Knight, man. I mean, he's not getting a chance here. Raziers is just dominating every possession play. He's giving Knight no space when he's on the ball. And it really shows that Knight is not sure how to defend against this. Raziers is comfortable on the ground. He's mechanical in the air. And he just poses so many threats when he's on his game. He's a real problem for anyone. The volume of shots he's putting on this net is going to give anyone in the world trouble.
I mean, Raziers as well, he's controlling the pace of Knight. This entire game is dictated by him. The fact that he was able to slow Knight down and did not let him challenge it properly, despite, you know, trying to go for that fake challenge. Going to the sky, though, he can then take it low, maintains that dodge, can then wave dash it, does just manage to squeeze it into that right side. And it's 6-1, approaching the infamous Brazil with less than half the game gone. Currently on track for a 12-13.
This is going to get ugly. This if it keeps going like this,
it's going to get ugly.
It's going to get very ugly. I mean, a 5-goal lead in ones, it can happen. Something we saw it yesterday a few times where, you know, a player might be trailing by 2 or 3, and at that point you're forced to go all in, and you might just concede more, but you might as well. Brilliant. That's a good bump. Well done by Knight. He failed with the first shot of this, but he still trusted his ability to land the air dribble bump. He's on the board. You know, I'm not really questioning his offense. I think he looks threatening, but Raziers is just such a more capable defender that it's just overall going to be too much of a problem. He's just got too good of a kickoff repertoire. He's too much control in the midfield. Knight has got such a long way back.
And keeping that shot so slow and floating means that the path that Raziers is going to take to save it is much more predictable. He's able to lure him into that line, can get that bump, better than doing a fast air dribble bump.
Oh,
instead, though, Raziers immediately, 10 seconds or so from that kickoff, you can see him take the ball low.
They're getting warmed up for the 3v3. They're like, well, okay, we're going to need to get ready.
Yeah, you know what, lads?
Teammates are in free play like, we're so sorry for you, man.
Imagine sitting there as Knight, you're like, right, you know what, he's running away from me, but I can get these 5 goals back. Turns to his left. Guys, what do you... And they're coming, they're chatting, they're doing their own thing.
I mean, it's, sometimes it would be the done thing to, give a little bit of input on, okay, maybe this is the kickoff strategy to go for, maybe this is the defensive or offensive strategy to go for. 1v1 is the most coachable game mode because when you're playing, you don't have a moment to really stop and think about strats. You just have to go on instinct most of the time. But if you got a teammate over your shoulder looking at what you're doing, saying, actually, I think this will work. Maybe this will work in defense. Maybe you could try this kickoff. It could be helpful, but I think they know that this is just not a matchup. He can win. Raziers is just playing out of his mind right now. Still though, 6-goal comebacks can't happen in this kind of time frame.
And Knight did just get the mid boost, and as soon as he gets it, he can go for something a little bit more special. The fact he can pick that up and send Raziers into his back corner, puts him on the back foot, something that Raziers is rarely doing. A wonderful flip reset, rockets it off the nose of his Octane, bringing it back again to that 5-goal deficit. And we saw just in the previous goal as well, Knight, he gave up one by trying to go for a bump, but on the ground, not a bad idea whatsoever. But don't get too obsessed with that mid-boost, Knight. Don't go too out of position for it, lad.
Raziers is really masterfully controlling the play here. He came away from that kickoff with no boost, but he just stayed on the ball, managed to manipulate it into a position where he can get 100 boost without ever conceding possession. So little things like this is really helping Razier's control the game. I mean, if you switch the positions there, it's easy to see Knight being at the one.
There we go. There's another one.
Hold on. I think he's going to catch up with this. Knight is back within 4. And if he can keep winning kickoffs, or at least staying in the game on the kickoffs, he's got a chance. This is the key thing now, is can he get control of the game? Can he create those opportunities? Because when he's creating chances, he's clearly a great scorer.
Yeah.
The problem is that he doesn't get enough of these chances.
They managed to outspeed Razier's in the corner, and that opened up that backside. But Razier's taking that fake kickoff, then gets possession of the ball in his back left corner. We've seen this left ball be so dangerous for him previously. The musty flick can't quite find its way in this time, but sending that central, Razier's takes it into his back corner, knows that Knight is not nearby to challenge because boost has been burned. And seconds ticking off that clock. Razier's very happy with this position, can get another goal from it as well.
Wow.
Great play. Not only does Razier secure himself his 9th goal, but he also burns vital seconds off that clock to shut down the comeback from Knight.
Well, you know, I really don't think Knight has played this one too badly defensively. It looks pretty bad because he's conceded 9 goals in under 4 minutes. But if you look back at the start of this game, he was trying to shadow, he was trying to defend on the goal line, and it just simply wasn't working. Razier's was taking his time, so he was just flip resetting on him every time. So what Knight has done is he's decided to play a bit more aggressively in defense. The problem is, he's against a world's class ones player, so as soon as he makes that switch up in defense, Razier sees it coming. He starts playing the ball much more quickly, starts flicking it early, and that he's countered Knight's adaptation, and it really just prevented any opportunity for Knight to come back.
That's something that these top ones players can do as well. We see the adaptation that apparently Jack, Joris, Khaled, all the guys you mentioned earlier, that's what they can do. They read the opposition and they want to get control of the game. Sure, they might give up 4 goals early on against an unknown opponent, but you absolutely bet on them to understand where that comes from later on. And Knight, again within 4, but with 26 seconds, remarkably unlikely unless he gets a string of wonderful kickoffs.
I really love that play from Knight. He faked the demo, and that actually forced Razier's to turn away from the boost. Razier's knew that if he went for that boost, he's going to get demoed. So Knight actually didn't oversteer for it, though. Stayed in a position to grab the boost and set up a goal-scoring opportunity. It's just such a long way back, though. He's making great plays in offense, but Razier's is just too good. He puts in the 10th goal.
Lovely.
It's a landmark as he confirms the win beyond the remaining shadow of a doubt.
Manages to also, on that air dribble, knows that Knight is coming in. If he sends that ball high, it does not matter where Knight finds it, because he does not have the speed to get up to it. Sends it up for the backboard touch. Wonderful play around what he is considering at this point, I'm sure, just a bit of a nuisance in the way. The dummy on the practice pitch.
Credit to him. This is a tough matchup. We knew it would be a tough matchup, but what bravery from Knight, whether it's his team saying, do you think you've got a chance here, or whether it's his idea, that takes a lot of guts to go in against Razier's and just give it a go.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably knew that he's a massive underdog here, but credit to him. He showed that he can attack well. He can score against a world-class ones player 5 times. Really, for him, the problem is just managing the positioning in the midfield, trying to space effectively to put pressure on his opponent. Razier's really just put on a clinic there of controlling the game, and he defended to such a high level that even though Knight was very good when he can get up close and personal, Razier's didn't even let him get there. It wasn't about the saves for Razier's, it was about challenges.
Yeah.
It was about pressure. It was about forcing Knight to concede possession before the shot is even created.
So with that 1v1 win and a 3v3 win earlier on, where all 3 players were hanging out on the pitch, that is going to guide us into game number 3 with a 2-0 advantage for HEET. We are going to be playing some 3v3s. If it goes to 4, we're going to be seeing a 2v2 take place. But you've got to look at HEET and think they're in a brilliant position to knock Team Secret out as our first team eliminated from our Gamers8 tournament here in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. And progressing on to the lower semi-finals is a brilliant place for HEET to be, because any win you get, you're securing yourself more money.
Oh yeah, and big prize pool jumps here.
I think it's about $10,000 more you get per win in these early stages.
Madness.
Also, to lose, if you lost and then lost again, you still get $15,000.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable. Then you get a single win. Cool. Here's another 10 grand. It's an unbelievable number. The winner of this tournament, I know we're jumping ahead to Sunday, gets $500,000.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, definitely use a bit of that myself, but unfortunately we're not able to partake in the prize.
Too old, mate. Too old.
Way too old. We're like more than double the age that you
Please
need
stop.
to be to start. A little bit of an update for you guys as we get into our second 3v3 on the A stream. B stream has Complexity leading 2-0 over Detonator. However, Detonator actually held the opening game there to a 1-goal difference, 3-2 in Complexity's favor in the threes. In game number 2, Shad Racebull actually needed overtime with 3 minutes and 57 seconds to take down Burn and Mikan. So massive play by Detonator. Complexity have shown up as a world-class team at this event, and Detonator showing that they've made such strides recently and continue to impress, even in a group that is so tough for them.
I mean, Detonator, they have proven that APAC is here to play. They've proven that they are here to take series and to get some games, and the entire region must be incredibly proud of them. And Sad doing the exact same for South America. A mistouch in the corner by Faris, and Sad can just shoot on that vulnerable net.
It looks like all that free play practice as Knight lost the 1v1 has gone in their favor. It is confirmed now that Complexity have won against Detonator. Detonator eliminated, but putting up great matchups against Luminosity Gaming, you know, holding them to very respectable scores, and now holding Complexity to respectable scores. Fantastic to see, and you know, great team. Looking forward to seeing what they can do in the coming year, in the next season. Looking at how much they've improved in such a short time. APAC, not long until that region will also be taking series on a world stage. I mean, APAC South did this weekend.
Yeah. Minute and a half gone, and Team Secret still riding high off that Sad goal from Faris' mistouch. Parker, though, trying to redirect it off the backboard. Knight has to jump into action. Flying down the pitch now, Raziz challenging to the ceiling. But we know enough about this man to know that he'll get it away. Gets one touch over the second. Drafinio, though, the new man on the squad, is able to clear it back into that orange half to the ceiling. And Parker is the first and only man to it. So a lot of space being given so far to HEET by Secret.
There's a big chance for HEET. Looks like Parker just had to fly straight to the ball there. No reset available on the ceiling. Secret will be delighted to see that. Less variables to consider. Remember that we called HEET the favorite after winning game 1, but it's not over. It's 2v2 game 4, regardless of what happens here. So I think that's a much better matchup for Team Secret.
Yeah.
They just have to play perfectly from here on, and they've not. In the mid game of game 3, Faris shoots low into the open bottom right corner.
Yeah, the double commit on the challenge leaves Drafinio completely isolated in the net, and his momentum is taking him towards that goal. So may as well go up for the in and out save. Faris sees that, goes low, cannot get the save away. About half the game left now. HEET bringing us even, and with this game win, they will be moving on. But they do need at least one more goal. A great chance, Parker able to shoot, but saved away yet again by Team Secret.
Yeah, I wish Sad, probably wish he had a bit of boost here. He still gets the top corner shot off.
Zero boost, no problem.
No big deal for Sad with the pre-flip. How much do Team Secret want this? Can they dig deep here and get themselves into a position where they can really threaten this series? You know, at least with the early pick at 1v1, should they continue to win here, they're going to have a ton of momentum built up by the time they get to that game 5. HEET looks so consistent, so organized in 3v3. Razir is a recent pickup for the Parker Faris duo. They look like they've been playing together for much longer.
Chance for a shot. Drafinio there going wide with it. Knight chance the double, but instead sends it back to him. Drafinio up incredibly early, a pre-jump perhaps. Good confidence coming out from Secret. They know that their speed is one of their biggest assets. Sad catching it, catches Drafinio off guard. Drafinio going for one bump, but doesn't end up going for Raziz, who can just sit in there and clear that one away into the corner. Raziz then carries it on with 100 boost too. He's still threatening. 2 players coming on to attack him. Drafinio does get that ball away as well. Parker just can get out the way of Faris. On the backboard, a minute remaining. Falling dangerously towards that orange net as well. Knight is up, backboard again. This is a couple of chucking it at the backboard, seeing what happens. A big pinch coming out. Sad able to double tap it away though.
Yeah, well dealt with there by Sad. It looked like the hard clear nearly caught him out of position. I would have really gone against the run of play. Team Secret have been...
Another double come in.
They've been advancing here. They've been pressuring, but still struggling to get that finishing touch.
Brilliant.
HEET put together another great assist for Reese with the finish. How about that from Raziers? A little bit of a slowdown in the pace and then accelerates.
Love that.
The double tap backboard pass. They lead with 38 seconds left.
Wonderful movement from Raziers. Again, controlling the game just as he does in 1v1. Slows that ball down, forces one member of Secret to come into attack. But they're wanting to attack themselves. Can't get it past Reese this time. A wonderful play from Raziers. Just really has been the MVP of the match so far. Normally goes to the guy who does the 1v1 anyway, because they literally win a game for their team, which is pretty good. Sad tries to find Jaffinho off receiving it from Knight initially. Final 15 for Reese. Pinches into that back corner. Parker will be first to it, but Sad can't quite get his own touch. High by Jaffinho, but floating is entirely up to Raziers. Seconds counting down. HEET can see that lower semi-finals approaching them. Catches it around one player. That is far. Sad needs to get some magic. Is unable to make the touch. And HEET, congratulations, will be moving through in our lower